This is your news now. In my last video, I talked a bit about George Soros and his interference in Macedonia. And I just wanted to expand on that a little bit. I'll talk about who is George Soros, in case you don't know, and what he's doing in Macedonia exactly. So first of all, who is George Soros? George Soros is a billionaire, and he is a Jew, Hungarian born, or at least he's a Hungarian Jew. And during World War II, he worked for the Nazis against the Jews.
While hundreds of thousands of Hungarian Jews were being shipped off to the death camps, George Soros accompanied his phony godfather on his appointed rounds, confiscating property from the Jews.
These are pictures from 1944 of what happened to George Soros's friends and neighbors.
You're a Hungarian Jew who escaped the Holocaust by posing as a Christian.
Right.
And you watched lots of people get shipped off to the death camps.
Right. I was 14 years old. And I would say that that's when my character was made.
In what way?
That one should think ahead, one should understand and anticipate events, and one is threatened. It was a tremendous threat of evil. I mean, it was a very personal experience of evil.
My understanding is that you went out with this protector of yours who swore that you were his adopted godson.
Yes, yes.
Went out, in fact, and helped in the confiscation of property from the Jews.
That's right. Yes.
I mean, that sounds like an experience that would send lots of people to the psychiatric couch for many, many years. Was it difficult?
Not at all. Not at all. Maybe as a child you don't see the connection, but it created no problem at all.
No feeling of guilt.
No.
For example, that I'm Jewish, and here I am watching these people go. I could just as easily be there. I should be there. None of that.
Well, of course, I could be on the other side, or I could be the one from whom the thing is being taken away. But there was no sense that I shouldn't be there, because that was, well, actually, funny way, it's just like in markets, that if I weren't there, of course I wasn't doing it, but somebody else would be taking it away anyhow. In other words, whether I was there or not, I was only a spectator, the property was being taken away. So I had no role in taking away that property. So I had no sense of guilt.
He is totally unrepentant about what he did. He feels no remorse. He is anti-Semitic. He makes his money in a similarly unethical fashion. He bets against currencies and interferes in the politics of countries so that the country becomes unstable and the currency collapses. And since he's bet against the currency, when the currency goes down, he makes money. And he has interfered in the politics of Ukraine. He is blamed for the revolution there. He's blamed for the Velvet Revolution in the Czech Republic and other political changes around Europe. He is blamed for currency collapses in Asia and in Europe. In 1992, he bet $10 billion against the pound. And just the fact that he made that bet caused the pound to collapse, and he made $1 zillion. Well, not a zillion, but a lot. So this is what George Soros does. He is like a harbinger of death, or chaos at least. And so, of course, he is very good friends, good pals with Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama. He funded Clinton's campaign, and he funded the violent protests after Trump was elected, protests by communists and far leftists. Now, what he's doing in Macedonia is, the U.S. government through USAID is funding his Open Society Foundation in Macedonia. They're funding him to the tune of $9.5 million. I don't know if maybe that doesn't sound like a lot to you, but it's a lot in Macedonia. There's only 2 million people in Macedonia. And so it's like $5 a person. And money there goes like 20 times farther than America. I'm serious. I've been there. It's super cheap, and their incomes are super low. So it's like the equivalent of like $100 per person in America. And that would be enough to fund NASA for 2 years. So we're talking like a space program type effort in Macedonia by the US government in order to change their politics. They are trying to get a socialist Muslim coalition into power there. And the Macedonians are not too happy about this at all. They are protesting the George Soros Foundation and George Soros himself. They're protesting against the US ambassador and America itself. So this is not something America should be doing, is interfering in the politics of other countries, trying to social engineer them to be good socialists and almost communists and to have Muslim governments. And this is not something the US should be funding. When all hell breaks loose in Europe in a few years, you have to look at the US and there's a lot of blame. All this destabilization in the Middle East, that's the fault of the United States. And the immigrant crisis, that is the fault of the United States. Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton, Secretary Hillary Clinton, destabilized Libya and Syria, and that released a flood of refugees into Europe. Whether it was intentional or not, I'm not saying, I don't know, but the result is, it's going to resonate through Europe for hundreds of years. So this is the sort of thing America has to back away from, is interfering with other countries like Macedonia and destabilizing, Middle Eastern countries. So that's it for today. Like and subscribe below.